Hello everyone. In today's video, we will dive into the highs and lows when adapting in a new country, going abroad to study or work, internships, Erasmus Mundus, mobility, everything. Because there are some challenges which will occur sooner or later. And don't get discouraged about the challenges. Instead of that, let's conquer them together. Hi everyone. I've been studying abroad for last 8 years, and there are some challenges which are bigger and some are smaller, but all of them can be quite difficult to overcome. And I always say that if you know something, then you can get prepared for it. If you're unaware, then it's quite difficult and the problems might be even bigger. So therefore, in today's video, I want to tell you 8 challenges, and I will also provide you some of my recommendation on how to overcome it. So the first most common problem, let's say we're going to talk about Erasmus Mundus, is the culture adaptability. In Erasmus Mundus, you're going to move to 3 different countries, which are often quite different. They are different in social norms, in behaviors, in their values, and you appear in a new country where there is new language, new climate, new environment, and you're like, how do I navigate this? Well, my first recommendation is to get informed as soon as possible and try to get informed as much as possible. Be open-minded and be aware of all the culture varieties like body language, gestures, eye contact, or regarding time management and so on. Be open-minded and don't judge based on your values. Sometimes I see that people keep doing and convincing people about what they do in their own country, but if you're in someone else's country, it's quite polite to say, okay, I completely respect how you guys do it in your country because I'm guest in your country, right? You can also share the habits in your own country, but don't be criticizing too much because this will not lead to the solution either. So if you're unsure on how to navigate all those things, and especially in Erasmus Mundus, you come to country and after 5 months, you're somewhere else. Try to adapt as quickly as possible and seek for help. Usually from the programs, there is a coordinator or someone from the university or department for international students. So you can, and that's my advice, go to them and ask them for clarifications or some introductory workshops or weeks. That's the first challenge. The second challenge, that is my least important one, is the bureaucratic procedure. I've mentioned it in my couple of videos. Bureaucratic procedure comes with everything, right? Even if you're staying in single country, time to time you need to go to the office and submit some papers and fill in some formulas. And for me, this is a headache. But it's a part of every mobility. So what is advisable here is to, again, get in touch with the organizers, coordinators from the university and ask them what is needed from you when you're moving to a new country. Most likely, this will be visa, housing, finances, opening up a banking account, and maybe some other legal papers and stuff regarding that you're moving to a new country. Depends from which country you are within the European Union. It's quite easy, but as non-European, you definitely should make sure that you're diving into this bureaucracy stuff, especially visa, as soon as possible. So start early, create a checklist of all the documents you need to collect, and then gather all the documents together. I personally like to save them in one folder and also print them out. And there might be also an option to hire a professional who will help you with this, especially if there is some language barrier or you're tied with time. You can hire professionals from the local countries, which will help you to go through all of this for you. This may save you a lot of time and a lot of energy. So last but not least, stay informed about everything what is needed from you and be patient. The third thing, the challenge which comes with mobility is lack of routine. And especially if you're Erasmus Mundus student, again, every 5 months, even maybe more often, you're moving. And this means new housing, new university, new schedule, like everything is different. And sticking to routine is so important for your mental and as well physical health, because through that, as I mentioned in my other videos, through this exercise, you will not only become more successful student, but also more happy and more stable. So having a routine is extremely important. As soon as possible, you get some schedule from the university. Try to plan your life, basically your typical week in the Google Calendar. Find an accountability partner who has the same goals as you, let's say mastering your program and also having social life, but as well exercise and study for the exams. And my recommendation for this challenge is to also get some short and mid-term goals. Let's say have a goal for one semester, whenever it might be that you will learn a new skill or you will learn a new language, whatever it is, but try to set those short mid-term goals which help you to be more focused on the daily routine. Next challenge is loneliness. And if you come to a country where you basically have no network of close people, of course you will be traveling with your classmates, but still you might encounter the feeling of loneliness, and it's completely normal. I've been there, I've done that, and it will get better. It's fine to communicate with your old friends from your home country, but I don't recommend doing it so much, because then you're losing the opportunity to maintain and create new relationships during your mobility, and also you will be losing the feeling of being on Erasmus Mundus or any mobility. My recommendation though to tackle loneliness is to maybe ask yourself, why do you feel lonely? Like, you don't enjoy time being on your own? Because this is important lesson learned for me from the Erasmus Mundus program, is that I started and I learned to enjoy me time alone, because it's very important to enjoy also, at least partially, to enjoy the time with yourself. But on the practical side, you can try organizing little trips or dinners and invite people to come to your place or to meet up. And often, most likely, your friendships will be from your class. So try to be in the class, helpful to your classmates, assertive, open-minded, and positive person, because most of the friendships you will gather from the university. Food and diet, another challenge, especially if you're from a country with amazing cuisine, let's say, and then you go to a country which is not as amazing in the food, like you're a gastro lover like I am, and then you come somewhere and let's say even the grocery is very expensive and then you don't know how to cook and stuff like that. Well, all of those challenges will make you stronger, right? So if you don't know how to cook, this is a perfect time to learn how to cook and maybe organize some international dinners with friends where you cook for them one week and then they cook for you the another one. And also in Europe, most likely, you can buy everything. If not in the market, like grocery market, you can most likely buy everything on the Amazon or in some specialized shops. So if you need some things from your country, like let's say I love the Mexico, and I've noticed there are a lot of Mexican shops here in Prague where you can buy like the Mexican flour and Mexican ingredients, and that's very nice also for you guys to get in touch with people from your own country abroad. Another challenge is homesickness and feeling that you just want to pack your stuff and go back home, especially if you're in close relationship with your family, your friends, your partner. Then being abroad and staying abroad for a couple of months and years, that's truly challenging. And because relationships for us humans are the most important ones, we also tend to suffer the most from this homesickness and from the limited contact with our closest ones. My recommendation is to keep in touch with them regularly, not so often though, not every single day calling. Maybe set some schedule which works for both of you. Also bear in mind the time zones, which are quite different. So try to figure it out what would work the best for you in your specific scenario. Also try to bring stuff from your home which you value, which you like your favorite your favorite decoration from home. Try to bring it to your new home in Erasmus Mundus to feel more at home. And also try to practice gratitude and self-care. Those all little things will make you appreciate more your presence instead of seeking the external validation and external impulses, and you will start enjoying much more to be on your own. And also document all the experiences. Firstly, it will not only make a lot of fun, but secondly, once you're back in your home country or whatever you call home, you can show all those beautiful experiences to your family. Last but not least is the education system differences. And this is so important to mention, and I would say it's one of the most important challenge throughout the Erasmus Mundus mobility, because you will encounter very different approaches, very different teacher techniques and teaching techniques, and it's very different. Some universities are more based on the professor that is talking, others are more focused on project-based classes or discussion-based classes. So it's very different. So first of all, it's again very good and advisable to research beforehand. Learn about the grading system, curriculum structure, and teaching philosophies. Secondly, attend orientation and workshops. For like every university, the first weeks or first month, organize some workshops where they explain you everything. How does the system work, even online and offline in the campus? So please take advantage of orientation sessions and attend them. So that's also good to arrive to the destination like a week before the actual start, so you get familiar with all those things. Communicate with professors, be assertive, be open-minded and communicative with your professors. If anything is unclear, don't hesitate to ask them for clarification. Seek support services. As I mentioned, there are some international departments at every single university which will help you to navigate through the system of the university. So definitely reach out to them with any doubts you have, even if it's regarding curriculum or some bureaucracy or even some courses which, let's say, you encounter too difficult, so you can ask them how to navigate this situation. Connecting with peers, and this works, I would say, everywhere. Connecting with peers and ask them maybe for clarification if they understood better the educational systems, or just to chat with them over the differences. And just these mutual connections help so much to diminish the feeling of being lost or chaos, that you don't know where to apply and what to do. If you talk to your peers, most likely there will be always someone who knows it very well. You can also reach out to older students to ask them for clarification. Observe the different teaching styles. As I said, some lectures are based on discussion, other on projects, other on the lecture. So adapt your study strategies accordingly to what and how the university works. For example, in my mobility, Malta was very much lecture-based. We just had to repeat the information basically. But in Sweden, it was completely opposite approach. We were not allowed to repeat the information, but we had to use critical thinking. This is so important to realize what the university really wants from you. Most of the information you usually find in the syllabus, which is enclosed in the first week's or even before the actual start of the university. And you will find all the information there, usually from the literature, assignments, and grading criteria. And also manage the time wisely. So I always recommend, as soon as you know all the deadlines, print them out, post them somewhere on the fridge so you know when are the most important deadlines, and you can plan your schedule accordingly. And last but not least is adjustment to climate. And this has been a big topic, especially, let's say, if you're coming from really warm country and then suddenly you appear in Scandinavia, which is very cold and very cloudy, and it's just very different. Again, preparation is must and is a key to success. So just Google what is the climate like. Bear in mind the different seasons, because in Europe, in most of the Europe, we have those 4 seasons, which change a lot the temperature, but also on how the weather in general look like. So make some research on that and prepare, especially with clothes. If you, for example, are unable to get some really warm clothes, or you don't want to bring them with you in a suitcase, we have a lot of opportunities to buy everything here, guys, in Europe. If you're searching for like high brands, you will find everything here on the internet, offline shops, but also you can find some really cool boutique secondhands, which Europeans really like, and where you can find some great deals for great prices. And the last tips might be like stay active and keep good nutrition, because this will all help you to adapt with the different climates, because it's quite easy to get sick and to get cold when the seasons and the temperatures vary so much. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I am really curious. What challenge and what scares you the most regarding the mobility and traveling and studying abroad? Let me know in the comment, and see you in the next video.